Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my Pro Game Cast series. I am Sylphin. In today's video, we are taking a look at a very high ELO game that happened a day ago as of the recording of this video with some kind of famous people here. We got ELO and Suki, which is, as the time of this, highest ELO player according to Agora.gg. So we have a very interesting video actually where, yeah, it's not an official, number of your MMR or ELO, but it's the closest kind of thing that we have to it at the moment. It's a 1988 average ELO team that lost to a 1688. And Suki was on the highest. He was 2400. He's on the team that won. So all of the other players are below 1688. There's a gold, some players. So anyways, we're gonna see what happens in this game, what the pros do. So come along and enjoy the game with me. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna start off here with the red team. We're gonna start this and go along. So on the orange team here, we have ELO, Godspeed, Selwonk, Barnabas, T. Whale, and Reaper 762. We got a Rampage, Muriel, Iggy and Scorch, Countess, and Murdoch. That's a pretty good team, ladies and gentlemen. The Rampage will be a very strong frontline, very strong tank and presence with some crowd control as well for the enemy team. Muriel's really going to help since they really don't have a front line. It's only going to be Rampage here in the front line. Countess will dive in and out, and we'll see how she works being the second frontliner. So definitely having that Muriel will help. We have a caster as Iggy and Scorch, and the ranger as Murdoch. Going to be a pretty good team if you ask me. A little bit weak on the front line, but hopefully the Muriel and Rampage can do some work in that regards. On the blue team here, we have Dare to Care, Suki, DX NaCXM, Not So Chill Phil, and Silky Johnson. So on that team, we have a Decker as a support, Murdoch as the ranger, Gideon as a caster, a Grux for the front line, and also the Countess for the front line as well. So not necessarily a better front line. I definitely give the team composition award to the orange team for sure, but I mean, hey, that's not necessarily an indicator of what's going to happen for the rest of the game. So in terms of lanes here, we have a Decker and Murdoch, and a Muriel and a Murdoch here in the left lane. Mid laning, we have Iggy and Scorch and Gideon. Good mid lane heroes here. And it looks like there was a kill made in the right lane by a fantastic rotation by the Grux to secure the kill on the Countess. Countess versus Countess here in this right lane. Really seems like that would be the smartest decision. A very volatile lane here with the Countess and Countess. Looks like that Grux did certainly help secure that kill here in the right lane. So in terms of end game goals here, definitely I would say all what the orange team has to do is make sure that the blue team doesn't use their odd team composition to make anything happen. The blue team does have a high amount of damage. Murdoch, Gideon, Grux, and Countess. So as long as the orange team can play a standard game and get to, 45, 50, 60 card power, I think that the orange team, a good team composition, should actually win over the blue team. But I did already gave this game away, as we know that the orange team actually loses here. So try to maybe forget that we know that and see how exactly the blue team wins. Hopefully that means that this blue team can use their, not traditional team composition, all that damage that they have to get some good numbers advantages, some good rotations, maybe some good picks off on the enemy team, and just kind of win via attrition, just like that. Some people do say that this game is of attrition. maybe that is how they win. So far, the teams seem to be fairly, you know, fairly, well, just kind of chill. They're just all laning very nicely. The blue team's Grux did get that very good rotation, gank off on this right lane's Countess v Countess. Boy, that's as stressful as I've had to come against that twice. Now, looks like Silky Johnson needs to be quite careful being half health at this early in the game. The Orange Countess, once she reaches level 5, will have her ultimate, will be able to delete Silky Johnson from the game immediately. Arguably, she would be able to do that now, and look at that! There's level 5, able to get that right off the bat. Half her health is gone, but Silky Barnabas is going to have that ability as well. Looks like, oh, a great oh, okay, he didn't land the pull, but still, the kill is for sure here against Barnabas. Fantastic. Great job by the Grux coming in from behind. Looks like Silky Johnson, or who was that? Who was that? Barnabas. T-Whale did not have a... Oh, she did! Or she just got that just now. So, ladies and gentlemen, wards save lives, and you can see here that that was a boo-boo. That was a ward. Definitely would have saved Barnabas there. Great map awareness by the blue team. Maybe you can see a little bit of a advantage here starting for the blue team. Some numbers advantages, but more importantly, just that card power and ease of lane. Just laning, getting that card power, definitely very much possible. We have a little bit of a engagement here going on the left lane, but it looks like they weren't able to secure the kill. The Murdoch does overextend, and now this Decker is going to have a hard time. Does she manage to make her combo here? No. But does this kill her? Yes, it does. Fantastic rotation by the Iggy and Scorch. He is a great ganking caster. That is quite a unique thing. So it looks like the orange team should have no problem getting down this blue left tower here. That was definitely a boo-boo, an overextension by the enemy, or by our blue team's Murdoch, Suki here. Not really amounting to much there, as you can see. That really just hurt him instead. The Gideon does have his ultimate. There you go. There's that ultimate. Is that going to secure the kill on the Murdoch, though? And is that just going to mean his death? But it looks like Reaper knows what he should be doing here and knows that he overextended as the Muriel left him to die. So he's just going to make sure his ult is off. And there we go. So looks like the blue team is kind of doing some good things, some bad things, but the orange team did have a good rotation there in the left lane. And looks like the enemy Countess was taken off here. The blue team's Countess was taken off. Barnabas is going to have an opportunity here for some tower damage. And just a little tickle, while the blue team does a fantastic job here in this left lane to get the tower. And are they going to secure a kill on this Iggy? They do. They do for sure. And not so chill is might have a tough time getting away, but the Gideon does peel for him, and he hopefully should survive. The enemy, the orange team Rampage here is kind of being a little bit idle in these engagements. I don't think I have seen him in a lane once so far, so he's being quite greedy in the jungle, but maybe, that's going to pay off in the late game if the orange team can simply just stay in these lanes, take care of their towers. Maybe that Rampage will be able to kind of get the card power, get a little bit of an advantage for himself, and then therefore translate into something later on. So far the towers are even, one tower versus one tower here taken down by the orange and blue teams, but it looks like the orange team actually has a little bit more damage on the 2 remaining towers here, the 2 remaining tier 1 towers. Getting a little bit. So here's the gank by Joe, but doesn't look like it's going to enable anything. Let's see. He has a blue buff for that increased cooldown reduction and mana regen and attack speed. So maybe he can get something, but no. He's going to be taken out fairly easily as his... oh, look. Yes, he did have blue and red buff. Big engagement here. Who's going to come out on top? I think the blue team is. They do have the defensive... defensive advantage. Oh, but the Murdoch was taken out. Unfortunately, Countess comes in, deletes the blue team's Countess, and just like that, the orange team has the advantage here. Definitely going to get the tower takedown and push up. Now the blue team was not able to respond here to their left tower getting taken out. The Gideon may be looking for a good opportunity here to engage above and use his ultimate, but I don't think with those orange players having that much health, it's going to be successful. This tower here is getting a good amount of damage applied to it, half damage, and doesn't look like that tower shall go down though. Here's the Gideon trying to get a pick here on the Murdoch, and it looks like they definitely will, as the Countess has to retreat, as she really can't do much against these players. Well, she certainly could here on this Gideon, but I think she might have used her oh, she has no mana, so that is it. So the blue team's not necessarily getting all that much done with their lanes here, getting some good tower damage there on the left lane. Now this right tower here is getting some damage as well. Let's see how they turn this game around. I would definitely at this point give the advantage to the orange team. But one thing that you can notice here, ladies and gentlemen, is the better vision of the blue team. Take a look on the minimap right now. You can see that they have the jungle warded off, whereas the orange team has this middle lane warded off. So you can see definitely the blue team's going to get more advantage, a better advantage anyways, from their vision as it's more widespread. They can see rotations coming in from the orange team. The blue team will definitely have an advantage as you know, the orange team is only going to really see this middle lane, which already has vision from it from their minions. So really not sure. Does look like the ELO is going to try to make a gank there on the Countess, but wasn't able to. He's going to head mid lane, see if they can do anything with that Decker. Countess and Countess again right here on this lane as they return to laning here in this beginning of the mid game. Looks like ELO might be able to make something happen. A great long armored law on the enemy Countess. There she is deleted. Very nice job saving her ultimate here. And they looks like Not So Chill and DX6Sem, however you say his name, have to try to make a different way to this lane, as the enemy Rampage was peeling for his Countess quite well, and now the Decker is forced to kind of harass this Rampage a little bit in the jungle. Not sure what anything's happening there. Mid lane, looks like the Egan Scorch is going to have a pretty tough time with that Murdoch, because Murdoch is a fairly good counter to Egan Scorch as well. So here's a little bit of engagement. The Rampage is choosing to continue the press of the Egan Scorch coming in. He will have his ultimate, and oh, he missed that chance, but the ELO is continuing the pressure here on the Grux. Looks like he definitely can get that kill, and the Countess tries to get the last hit, but not quite. So numbers advantage for the orange team as well. Looks like the enemy team, the orange team, is split pushing very well, getting some damage here on this weak left tower as well. But Suki can definitely continue to defend this lane as she pushes up this Murdoch. Is he able to actually make something happen with that red buff? No, and he misses his ultimate. Not sure if that ultimate was necessary to get some damage off, as they were definitely going to just retreat anyways. And probably either go back to base or find another way. So here we go for DX Nasiksem, however you say his name, my apologies. doing a good job defending this right lane. Gideon definitely going to have an advantage over this Countess in this lane, as long as he can just play it safe here and not get to half health like he is right now. Because, yes, he realizes that, goes back, maybe to spend some card power, but more importantly, get that health for this Countess to, you know, not completely delete him from the game. So it looks like the match is kind of reset here in terms of the siege, in terms of numbers advantage. Both teams are happy to continue just getting their jungle, getting the lanes kind of all sorted out. 3 of the blue team there is on the left-hand side of the map. Maybe they are going to continue their press, get black buff, make something happen there with a split push in the left and mid lane, as it definitely could be possible here, because the Gideon is going to have a very good wave clear here right into the mid lane of the blue team, of the orange team, correction, but they aren't necessarily in position, so that could be an option here, as the Murdoch and Decker are going to have that black orb to push left lane. Doesn't look like they are kind of committing to anything like that, though. The right lane might get some good damage off by the blue team's minion wave, but it doesn't look like it. The wave couldn't build up that much. So now the enemy, now both teams are meeting at the mid lane. This Not So Chill is definitely a little bit overextended. He has to be careful. A little bit of map awareness would definitely go a long way, as he could definitely collapse here on the Aegon Scorch. Are they going to? But no, he doesn't. He chooses to Okay, something definitely could have happened there. A little bit of a communication and team focus would have gone a long way there. But now he has to be careful, as he's in a bad position. Okay, he's going back. Gideon's kind of resetting, going back into his lane. Oh boy, something definitely could happen there, but looks like the Countess versus Countess, a great Muriel ultimate in to save and long armor the law to push the advantage there to the orange Countess. Fantastic. We have a gank here coming in. Oh, Jay Leo getting caught out. A ton of damage off on him instantaneously by the Murdoch Shred to shred his armor. There we go. So the numbers advantage is reset. 4v4, but the enemy orange Countess here is going to have a much better advantage in the right lane, be able to get down that tower. That's definitely what she should do, and she does that. Tower for a tower here in the mid lane. But the Cell Wonk is coming in for a good ultimate, but the clutch stun there from Dare to Care disables that, and looks like he gets picked off by a great Gideon ultimate. Fantastically done. A great pull to secure the kill on the Muriel. Fantastic. Wow, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Some great play here to secure some kills. That Decker stun, I think, is a little bit more impactful than you might realize there on that Aegon Scorch coming in, disabling him from getting a good 3-person ultimate, instead just a 2-person ultimate. The Countess should definitely not have done that. Oh boy, she was definitely disabled from blinking black back there to her original location. She might not have a Blink Charm. Oh boy, she definitely should have gone to Blink Charm here, because that would have definitely helped there. I think, you know, that is almost a must here for Countess, because if you even get one stun, or you simply don't get your combo off, you know, even in the slightest, you know, if you even slightly are unable to get your whole combo off, you are in a problem, and you really need that. Looks like Barnabas T. Wales going for armor, which, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, if you do the math, that is not the ideal situation. You need a health pool first, enable to at first, you know, be able to take the hits. That is what's going to definitely help you more. And then once you are able to take some hits, then the math works in the favor of reducing how much those hits hit for. So she definitely should be getting about 800 health first before going into any armor, as you know, being only able to take 5 hits of 100 is 500 total damage. But if you're able to instead take you know, get 500 health and take 1,000 damage, well, That's 500 more damage you'd be able to take instead of, you know, five points of armor, which will only reduce your damage, the damage that you've received by like maybe 100. So, you know, as you can see there, 600 is much less than 1,000. There you go, a little bit of an engagement, but they didn't able to get that Murdoch, and it looks like he's kneeling for a snipe, but he does not get a good all armor off. Now, looks like this Not So Chill is just waiting for the perfect pull opportunity. There we go, but a very interesting pull that misses the Gideon, tries to get the Murdoch there in the back line, but no, a great long arrow law that misses, and that Gideon ultimate is fantastic. Oh, great, Muriel shield, can she keep the Countess alive? No, but the enemy, but the blue Countess goes inside the tower for not really a good reason, and the Gideon struggling to get back. Looks like Jay Leo's gonna have a great ganking opportunity. Can the Decker help her Gideon? No, she leaves him to his fate, as probably would be the smart decision. Very interesting play. You can see that the blue team's trying their hardest to make their team composition work with the high damage, some good pulls, some good one-on-one engagements to get that numbers advantage, to then use that high damage composition in their favor. Looks like Suki there got a good 1v1 battle on the Iggy and Scorch, only reduced to half health. So Suki definitely showing his dominance here. Very high ELO player with Murdoch. As most high ELO players seem to really enjoy their Murdoch, as he is a very strong hero in today's meta. Okay, so where are we standing, ladies and gentlemen? Looks like in the siege department, we have an advantage, I would say, to the... Oh boy, that's kind of hard to say. We do have a blue team advantage here, I would say, as that right lane is just so weak. It's basically not really there. So I would give the advantage to the blue team. They do have an inhibitor exposed in the mid lane. Mid lane is definitely the harder lane to try to get to try to pick off, as enemy team can definitely rotate quite easily to defend that. So we do have Countess once again here in this right lane. She should be able to make something happen. She should be able to maybe harass this enemy Countess enough maybe to push this lane, but you know what? Okay, no, she goes to place a ward, which is very nice. She does see that against Scorch rotating her way, so she decides to dip back into her jungle just a bit and come up this side. So big posturing from the blue team here in this mid lane, trying to maybe force an engagement here on this rampage and against Scorch. And against Scorch retreats. And the blue team's posturing to take Orb Prime. Looks like the orange team is aware of that. They are converging. You see that they're kind of surrounding the area here of Orb Prime. That Muriel is split pushing like she definitely should, as she has that global presence. She can come in, use that ultimate. So it looks like the gadget here is the one initiating on the Iggy and Scorch. Looks like she's trying to get a pick, but the damage isn't there. And looks like, oh, but the good backline pick here on the blue team's Countess is happening. Looks like they're splitting up. Oh, but the Countess falls almost instantaneously. There we go. So that the bad posturing by the unfavorable posturing of the orange team is not really a good thing there, as you can see that it definitely didn't help, and a great ultimate to pick off the Rampage, who seems to just kind of fall to very minimal damage. And you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the orange team needs to use their team composition to their advantage. They need to be in a good posture, have these good engagements in order to do anything. The blue team has a lot of damage. They have a lot of capabilities with the pull, with the Gideon ultimate, the shred even from the Murdoch. Obviously, the crazy utility that the Decker gives them, and just the pure damage of the Countess. All of that put together, if the orange team does not stick together, does not, disable the blue team from getting an early pick to getting that numbers advantage, blue team is just going to roll over them, which they definitely did there, as they got a 3-4-0, and I think that was actually a 4-0 for the blue team. So now the advantage is definitely in the blue team's favor, even though the Siege would say otherwise. They do have a great vision advantage over the enemy team in the Orb Prime area. Orange team going to the left lane. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so far in this game we have seen great strategic play by the blue team, realizing their advantage over the enemy team's going to be their high damage composition. Orange team's not really sticking together, doing a great job of using their superior team composition, if you ask me. Yes, their front line is a little bit weak with only the Rampage and the Countess, but that just means that Rampage has to stay with his team, make sure that he is a dominant force here in this front line. We can maybe take a look at his build here. Is he going for a good amount of damage as well as some health? A little bit of health, but looks like he's struggling in the card power department. As Suzuki, the Murdoch has 51 card power. That maybe explains why he ripped through the Rampage. There is a pick like we are talking about here in this left in the left jungle. That is the pick, ladies and gentlemen, that the blue team needs to create that automatic advantage over the orange team. And now the orange team is forced to play defensively, as they are heading on over to their right lane tier 2 tower. But I think that this tower is basically, yeah, no way in hell can they come and defend that. And looks like they just have to defend this inhibitor. The orange team was doing a great job in the early game, just using their superior team comp in the lanes, making some good stuff happen. But as soon as, some towers started to fall, the jungle started to be in a good play here, then looked like that really happened. The Muriel preemptively using her ultimate, which I don't think was actually appropriate here. Should have let the Rampage get his ultimate and regenerate. There we go, there we go. Even with a one-person advantage, you can see that the amazing team composition of the blue team, or the orange team, correction, is really working in their favor. Oh, but looks like they clutch escape from the Grux. Clutch save by the blue team's Gideon. Wow, great team fighting by the blue team, even though the orange team was doing a fantastic job there. Oh boy, looks like the orange team was definitely doing a good job, ladies and gentlemen. If they didn't have that Orb Prime, quadra kill by the blue team here. If that blue team did not have their Orb Prime, they would have lost. I'm definitely certain of that, ladies and gentlemen. That orange team was doing a fantastic job in that team fight, and as you can see, with one person down, with a 4v5, the orange team was doing a fantastic job. That is the power of a strong team composition. But with the blue team getting that pick on that on that Murdoch, really that gave them the advantage. The Orb Prime was just too strong. The Orb buff was just too strong for the blue team. It enabled their high damage build to just overcome and take them down. Looks like the Not So Chill was being a little bit aggressive with his backing here in the mid lane, but looks like they will retreat. Wow, fantastic play here by the blue team. Fantastic team fight there. Orange team just needs to not get picked off. They need to play very conservatively. You have really good engagements, play it defensively, get a good, team fight. Get a good team fight, get a numbers advantage, push their lanes up, stick together at that point, get Orb Prime, barrel down a lane, use their superior team composition to take down an inhibitor, and kind of win that way. There's really not much they're going to be able to do in terms of split pushing. The blue team will just simply collapse in on them and not really, do much in terms of split pushing for the orange team. Wow, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this game. It's only the 28-minute mark, and this, I feel like, is a wonderful example of what Paragon can definitely be. Imagine, ladies and gentlemen, a 30% smaller map, or a map a third of the size, with travel mode reduced, travel speed, like base travel speed increased, enabling all of this rotation that you're seeing here. Kind of imagine just kind of taking all of this time out that they're spent in the jungle, rotating, and all this just kind of useless time here. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. There is that numbers advantage for the blue team. They have secured the win here. As I'm going to say that they pretty much barrel down this right lane and win the game at this point. It looks like the blue team is posturing yes to all collapse, or all advance here on this right side. Looks like the Iggy Scorch though is going to get a little bit zoned here from the right lane. There we go. There's that tower easily taken out. They have to retreat back to their inhibitor. And let's see if a 4v1 here for the orange team works in their favor. Looks like, ooh, the blue Countess is being a little bit aggressive. Orange team has to support the Ziggy and Squirch. Just getting caught out. A great ultimate by the Gideon. Traps all four of them. Oh boy, the orange team did not support the Iggy and Scorch. They're caught in the inhibitor, and looks like that was the advantage the blue team needed to win this. Yep, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is the win. Definitely going to easily take down this Countess. The Murdoch doesn't have a chance of surviving here. Oh, but the fantastic ultimate by the Muriel. Oh, the Decker is choosing to chase the Murdoch there. Ooh. I think the orange team here is definitely a better 3v3 composition. So looks like fantastic boulder takes out Suki, and Jay Leo is continuing to go on the Gideon. They should definitely have this kill here. Switching off to the Gideon onto this Decker. The Muriel will have no problem keeping her nice and slowed for her friendly team to come in. Countess will be able to delete this Decker here. Let's see. Oh, but she has no mana. So at this point, it's quite obvious who is going to win here. Looks like, though, the orange team does have a huge minion wave here, pushed all the way in this left lane. I don't think this is going to be a big enough wave, though, to take out a inhibitor, as the blue minion wave comes right into a perfect position to hold off this wave here. Yeah, that's one dead orange wave as the blue wave arrives just in time to take it out. What a dominant strategic presence the blue team had here, ladies and gentlemen. That is definitely the theme of this game, being able to take down the enemy players in 1v1 scenarios, getting that numbers advantage for them, using that high damage composition here to therefore win a 5v4. As you can see, oh, fantastic Alarm Out of Law, and there is a dead Barnabas Countess. Not much more to say, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be highly aware of how your friendly team is going to play, how the enemy team is going to play, what are your strengths and weaknesses, how do you use that to your advantage. The blue team was definitely much more aware of their team's strengths than the orange team. The orange team was continuing to get picked off in 1v1 scenarios or 2v1 scenarios, getting into bad positions that enabled the blue team to really easily take them out. If it wasn't for that one Murdoch pick here in this left jungle, if there was that Rampage pick in that right jungle there, I think, the orange team really could have done a much better job. Their strategy here in this game should have been make sure that the lanes are at least going in the orange team's favor, and then at that point group up, barrel down a lane, use their high. See, here is another example of a Murdoch getting yeah, so he's kind of given up there, as you can see, bouncing away, getting picked off. Here is the Orb Prime for the blue team. Going to have definitely that numbers advantage from that Murdoch pick, barreling down any of these lanes and winning the game. But as we were saying, the orange team, their strategy here should have been, ladies and gentlemen, making sure that their lanes are at least grouped up in a, or at least that their lanes, were pushed up. Wow, very nice job by the Aegean Scorcher deleting that Countess. As it looks like he is definitely nice and tanky here. Oh yeah, very nice and tanky here. Able to definitely counter the Countess very easily. But yes, grouping up once their lanes are moving at least in the right direction, barreling down a lane, using their superior team composition to, you know, win a team fight. That, you know, that's definitely going to be forced to occur, because the blue team will have to respond to, you know, 5 of the blue team, or of the orange team kind of barreling down a lane. They're going to have to respond to that. So at that point, using their team composition to their advantage, just barely getting a tower or 2. That's what the orange team needed to do, but they simply couldn't. They really struggled here to really do anything. So again, Dare to Care, Suki, DX, Nasixem, Not So Chill Phil, Silky Johnson on the blue team. Fantastic job here. Suki with 14-3 with a monster high damage build with a little bit of health, as you can see here on the Elder Mage Amulet. And a blink shot. Fantastic. Good escape here provided by that blink. And the Rampage, J. Leo, Godspeed, Selwonk, Barnabas T. Whale, and Reaper on the orange team. Really struggling in the card power department. Not able to stay together and use their superior team composition to their advantage. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike it, dislike it. Please leave a comment. What did you think about this game? How do you think that the orange and blue teams played? How do you think that they used their team compositions, their team strategies, their team strengths and weaknesses to their advantage? Obviously, the blue team knew what they had to do very well, and they did it. Orange team, not so much, struggled in that department, using their strengths to their strengths, and their weaknesses not getting picked off not too well. Please share the video with the community, and of course subscribe if you like this content. Please subscribe, and if you simply found it enjoyable or helpful, please subscribe so I can do it for you in the future. Till next time, like always, ladies and gentlemen, stay optimistic and positive.